So without further ado, I will hand over to Mike. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you, Emma. And hello, Clive. Good to see you as well. So yeah, quick introduction. My name's Mike Roberts. I work for a company called Frama. I am the specialist in anything to do with email encryption, electronic signatures. I love working in the regulated industry, so in the legal sector especially. And then in my spare time, I don't know if you can see behind me, but I am still in this little man cave of mine, and I love helping people on LinkedIn as well. I've built my business on the platform. I strongly believe in helping each other. And that's me, that's my introduction. And today what I'm going to be doing is, there is no PowerPoint presentations. It's not going to be a long-winded sales pitch or anything like that. But what I thought it would be a really good idea to do is to give everybody on the call today a quick demonstration of email encryption and electronic signatures without leaving your existing email platform. A lot of people are telling me at the moment that with the working from home situation, nobody wants to be using awkward portals anymore to read an email. Client experience is so key at the moment, and if it makes it easier for you and I to be able to exchange confidential information, or for you to be able to sign my document that's easier, then everybody's up for that, and they don't want to make it complicated. So what I thought today I could do, Emma, is to give everybody on the call a quick 5-10 minute demonstration, and then run through some questions and answers. What do you think?
That's perfect. Thanks, Mike. And I just meant to say as well at the start that having obviously marketed the event across social media, particularly LinkedIn, the comments and feedback on firms that have been using Frama already have been fantastic. So if you do need any independent reviews or testimonials as to how it's going, I definitely recommend heading over to Mike's LinkedIn page, which again, I'll share the details with that, so you can have a look and perhaps even ask a couple of people. They're very willing to comment on the event, and they're not even needing to attend. So I thought that was very, very positive, because it's not often you see positive reviews. So yeah, thanks. Back over to you, Mike.
Brilliant. So if I can share my screen, if that's okay, because I think I'm disabled at the moment to do that. Perfect. Right. So if everybody can see my screen, all I'm in at the moment is Microsoft Outlook, a very normal situation that we're all in at the moment, where we send and receive our emails. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new email, and up here on the left-hand side of the screen is our button. This is our shiny little red button called Send Registered. So if I'm sending an email to my client, Sarah, and I want to make sure that this information is encrypted, secure, and I also want to have legal proof of compliance that I've done everything correct, all I need to do is bypass this normal send button, and what we'll do on this situation is we'll use our new red button, and a pop-up box will open, allowing me to do a number of things. So the first part of my demonstration is I'm going to send a registered email that's encrypted automatically, and all I do is press send. It's literally one extra mouse click for me to be able to send that email safe, encrypted, and secure. Now, what it looks like on my recipient send is quite unique. As you can see, Sarah hasn't had to log into any portals, download any software, or sign up for an account. It just appears like a normal message. Apart from the fact that there is a banner up here that tells Sarah that this is a registered email that's encrypted. And within the banner, it also allows my recipient to reply securely. So if I'm asking for Sarah's bank statements, passport copies, driving license, or whatever it might be, it's such a nice client experience to know that the person who's sending me this secure email is also giving me the ability to reply securely. So if Sarah clicks on that link, it takes her straight through to a nice secure web page that's very easy to navigate, where she can simply type in her response and upload up to 100 megabytes worth of attachments. So very easy. Easy for me to send a secure email, easy for recipient to reply securely if she wishes to, or she could just reply normally. That's completely down to your client. Now, I also mentioned to you at the start of this demo that I am sending a registered email. So it's not only secure and encrypted, but it's also registered. So what do I mean by that? So what I mean by a registered email is every time I use this red button, I get back sent a registered receipt. So the information in this receipt is really unique and really quite useful. So not only have I sent Sarah a secure email, but I've got notification and legal forensic evidence of where the email was sent to, the contents of the message, what time it was delivered, what time it was opened, and we also have a forensic audit trail of the journey that that email went on from start to finish in encrypted format. So I now have legal forensic evidence, whether it be for the ICO, a governing body, or a court of law, that I'm doing everything correctly. I know what was sent, who it was sent to, when it was delivered, and when it was opened. And that's what we call a registered email. Absolutely brilliant, especially in certain circumstances. I know that I've spoken to so many law firms over the years who've used this for witness statements, people who've not turned up for court. It's just really, really useful. So what I wanted to do is, that's the first part of my demonstration complete. Is there anybody that's got any questions or anything I can answer at this point on encrypted email before we move to e-signatures? I think there's something in the, nope, that's all good. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen again. And this time I'm going to demonstrate me sending a document to my client for an e-signature without leaving Outlook. So just like before, I'm going to compose my email. I'm going to attach a letter of agreement. So whether it's a Word document, a PDF, or even an Excel spreadsheet, you can attach any document file here to be sent for an electronic signature. So I've attached a Word document, a letter of agreement. I've composed my message. When I'm ready, all I do is use my new red button to send it registered and encrypted just like before. But this time I'm going to use another service. I'm going to choose the e-signature service. So I'm sending a registered secure email with a document for an e-signature. So all I do is press send. On the recipient's end, Sarah receives an email from me just like before with the message, but this time she's got a nice big yellow button that says view and sign document. Couldn't be easier. So all my recipient needs to do, whether they're on a mobile device or on a desktop, they simply press that yellow button and it takes them straight through to a secure web page where they can read my document that I've attached. Now, once my recipient has read the document, up here on the top right hand corner, hopefully you can see there's two buttons, one called decline or finish. All Sarah needs to do is choose finish. She types in her name. If she's on a mobile device, perhaps she wants to draw her signature, or she can just simply leave it as an auto signature. Either or, it doesn't matter. She clicks to sign, and that's it. A legal signed contract makes its way to both sender and recipient, so we both have a copy, and that Word document that I sent less than 2 minutes ago has now come back to me in the form of a PDF. So if I open up this PDF, we're going to see three things have happened to this document. Number one, we have a name and a signature and a date, which so far looks very nice, but it's not a court admissible legally signed contract. Number two, every page is watermarked and timestamped, so we know the whole agreement has been read and approved. And number three, and this is the most important part, it attaches an e-signature certificate, which makes this my qualified, IDAS approved, court admissible, legally signed contract. And the more you use our tool, the more you'll find the ways of using it in different scenarios. So for instance, you might have multiple signatures that are needed on the document. No problem. You may have several documents that your client needs to sign. That's absolutely fine. You can attach them all. The client still signs it once and types in their name, but all those documents will come back to you as one merged PDF with the signature certificate attached. So some really useful things. And also we go way above and beyond just a name and a signature and date. So I'm sure Clive will hopefully tell us in a moment, they use our alternative e-signature solution, which not only allows the recipient to name, date and sign, but they can fill in forms, tick boxes, statements. It really does go, quite into some good complicated workflows that some of you may have on this call. So that's 2 demos done. Very, very simple. Email encryption without leaving Outlook, and sending a document for an e-signature without leaving Outlook. It's also a large file transfer tool, so you can send files up to 1 gigabyte in size. Again, giving you the ability to move away from solutions like Dropbox or WeTransfer.com. You can do that all from here. You can do PDF archiving. And I think from my end, it's really great for regulated industries because it's simple to use, but it's also simple for your recipients and your clients. So Emma, I told you that it was very, very simple and very quick. I hope that was really useful. Shall I pass it back over to you?
Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Mike. Does anyone have any questions or comments, or are you using anything like this at the moment? Clive, would you mind if I picked on you to see how things are going? You've been using it for a few weeks.
We have, yeah. We didn't have any particular solution to resolve this when lockdown came around, so this was a bit of a godsend, actually. What we use our mail and our sign, as Mike was saying. So how we've been using it is for witness statements. It's been really handy. Client care letters, those letters of engagement, that's been really useful. Also CFAs. This is to get things signed. We also use it internally, where the partners, for example, are executors on estates and have to sign things, and that's worked really well. The big thing for us was that we didn't want the client to have to download awkward software in order to sign or complete things. We wanted it to be a very, very easy click here solution. That's proved to be, actually. We've had some great feedback from clients who've used it and found it really easy. We haven't had any problems with them finding it too clunky or any unwillingness to go ahead and use it. That's been absolutely fine. We've also used the password protecting thing. Has been very good for us to send sensitive documents to clients. That's been very useful too. So overall, yeah, it'd be really good. I wondered how it might all work together with the rest of our IT, but might work well with our IT management people to make that happen. Then provided the training, and then sent us these really handy how-to videos, which we sent around the staff just to remind themselves. It's just as quick as Mike just showed us, but imagine having a little video just to remind yourself if you think, oh, I can't remember how to do this. But no, so it's worked very much, at least. So all positives from my point of view.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Fantastic. Thank you. Because something that I noticed when I've been writing nationally on particularly on e-signatures and gathering e-signatures has been, the need for clients to either download an application or something else. It hasn't been inbuilt within the email system itself. So this is something I haven't necessarily seen before, which is fantastic. Is anyone else using anything similar or certainly thinking about this long term, and has lockdown brought this to the top of the agenda a bit more?
Because the thing is, Emma, just while we're waiting for that, is, we're not a multi-billion-dollar IT company. We aren't DocuSign or one of these huge giant software houses. We're a family-run business. We've been operating for 40 years. And I think one of the biggest things that people like about our services is I've got a team behind me as well. But if somebody was to contact me at 6, 7 o'clock in the evening and they desperately needed help, it's nice for people to know that they can contact me, give me a text or a WhatsApp. And chances are, if I'm at home, yeah, I'll jump on a quick Zoom meeting like now and just get anybody sorted. So I think it's the service which is key, again, massive in this area. So I just love being able to offer that extra level of support, which you might not get with big, giant software companies.
Yeah, and having utilised, I mean, most people, if you've signed in for today, you've probably logged into Zoom already, maybe using that. Microsoft Teams, while it's absolutely fantastic and it's slightly different software, the fact is if you're looking for help and support, a lot of it is go and have a look for yourself first and then contact our support team. And at the moment, we've got a bit of a backlog. So to be able to access that level of service as well, particularly at this time, is obviously really important. Clive spoke a little bit about some of the training that you provide. how long does it take generally to get firms up and running with a system?
Do you want me to answer that, or Clive?
Well, if you first, and then see what Clive thinks.
Yeah, I confirm whether it's true or not.
Training, it takes 2 minutes for me to get your email addresses on our portal. It's as simple as that. And then it also takes an extra 2 minutes to show somebody how to put the Outlook plugin on their Outlook system. And then I can do training in 10 minutes or an hour. It's completely down to you as the individual on how much you want to go through on the day. We can do group sessions, we can do individual one-to-one, but there is so much more to this than an Outlook plugin. So for instance, if you're not in front of Microsoft Outlook, you can still use the service by going to our web app, or if you're using a CRM system, for example. So it all depends on the workflows and what it is the client needs. And I can just make sure that we allocate enough time to do that. And I've also put together some great incentives for the people on the call today as well, if they want to try it.
Thank you. I'll ask you about this in a minute. Clive, in terms of using this on a mobile app, is it still possible? Is it something that you're using on a desktop? I suppose to both of you really, because sometimes I know people are using iPads and phones to send information.
I tend to use it on the laptop. I have tried it on the mobile app. It seems to work because I prefer to have a hand signed signature.
Sure.
Because I don't like the ones where it invents your signature, because anybody could have done that, couldn't they? Not necessarily me, but I know my own horrible scratchy signature. And even using a mouse on my finger, I know it's me. And I know going forwards, it was me who did it. So there is that hand-drawn option, which is the one I choose each time. And just with that training, we did a bit of a 40 to 50 to train, and Mike did it over 2 days, a bit of a man 2 days, but it was all done. As he said, most people were within the group. You had 1 or 2 who had particular requirements, but we did it on a one-to-one basis. But we got it all done in 2 days.
Fantastic. Mike, you mentioned some opportunity or offers at the moment. Did you want to talk through a couple of those that people are attending, and also so we can share that a bit more widely after the event as well, please? Yeah,
absolutely. So there's no hidden agenda from my side. If anybody on the call wants to just give it a try for themselves or their team, just let me know or get in touch. And because we are quite late in the month now, what I can do is I can give anybody the access for June, just to have a good play around with it and see what they think. We also have an annual charge, which is a setup, training, installation and support fee, which gives everybody everything they need to make sure that everything's working well and that they've got access to me every day. And like I did for Clive, I'll waive that for anybody that's in your circle for the lifetime that they're with us. No problem at all.
Mike, that's fantastic. Thank you. That's such an opportunity, and I really appreciate it. I think this is the future, isn't it, Clive? I mean, this is obviously something that you're going to use past lockdown. Would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. We've signed up for 12 months actually, because we can really see the benefits. I think, like a lot of things, this is one of the things we'll take forward and use. It's not just for lockdown; it'll improve our processes and our efficiencies and ability to interact with clients a lot more quickly.
Absolutely. And I can imagine as well that even though a lot of firms are migrating onto 365, the fact that you can still share, even within the team, some of the documents when perhaps people are remaining, they've got a split in terms of remote work and those in the office, and it will help with that as well going forward. So
yeah, definitely. And you shouldn't understate the encryption element. That really is important, the password stuff, ignoring the signing, that in itself is really helpful for us in terms of data protection.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic. Mike, is there anything else you'd like to say to the participants?
No, I just want to say thank you to you both. Clive, your team's been wonderful to work with, so thank you so much for the kind feedback. And and Emma, thank you for the opportunity today. Absolutely delighted. So thank you very much.
Not a problem. As I say, I will share the link to the video with you all later today. Mike's going to put a couple of sentences together in terms of getting in touch and some contact details. So if there's anything else that you need, you'll be able to contact him directly. And if, again, we're doing a bit of a push at the moment to ask firms how they're preparing to come out of lockdown. So if you've got anything that you'd like to share with us or any concerns, I'm writing an article on it. I'm happy to anonymise, but also also I think it's really good to share best practice in the sector. So I'd love to hear from you. If you don't have it already, my email's emma@legalnewswales.com. Have a lovely afternoon, and I will see you all again soon. Thank you very much for joining us, and thanks to Mike.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks. Bye.